I'd like to call the St. John Park Board meeting to order. If we could all stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If we could have roll call, Mr. Tyler.
Sure. Mike Bovat.
Present.
Pat Connolly.
Here.
John Boersma absent. Mike Moffett.
Here.
Tyler McLeod present. Nicole Bennett. Present. Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
And we have that official?
Yeah.
All right. Consider item number 4 here after the roll call, approval of minutes for Tuesday, October 20th, 2020, for Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, and for Thursday, March 25th, 2021.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
That's a motion by Mike Moffett, second by Pat Connolly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. And just a quick note, the 2 months of outstanding minutes we have are from, well, 2 meetings would be November 12th of 2020 and then February 16th of 2021. I'll get those completed for next month, and then we'll be caught up.
Thank you for that. Item 5, new business. If we could go to point A, recognition of Eagle Scout project. Mr. Tyler?
Sure. So I received an email in October of last year from a resident looking for project ideas for her son. And I floated out the idea of the garden project and the Eagle Scout, and with his mom is in attendance tonight, Alistair Conrath. He ran with the idea and constructed 10 of the raised garden beds. I'll give a more detailed update on the garden later, but yeah, they turned out fantastic. It was quite the process, kind of watching them go through it to plan, organize, and raise funds for the boxes. But yeah, they looked great, and you know, we appreciate his service. I got a plaque to present to him tonight.
Outstanding. And what, his name was Alex?
Alistair Conrath.
Alistair? Alistair, if you don't mind, could you come up here to the podium, please? It's a strapping young man there. Eagle Scout, are you?
No, I'm still alive.
Okay. It's outstanding. If you could tell us just a little bit about yourself, where you go to school, what grade?
I'm a 9th grader. I go to Lake Central High School. I'm 15, currently Life Scout, and I am looking for a job.
Okay. Well, you know, with that attitude, I think it ain't going to be too much of a trouble for you. But how long have you been in scouting?
For a while.
For a while, several years. How many? Since kindergarten. Okay, fantastic. And what made you kind of consider getting involved with this?
The project?
Yes.
I was looking for a project to do, and my mom showed me this, and this sounded like a pretty good job to do, and I liked the idea, so I went with this one.
And you have like any kind of background in carpentry or any of that
No.
stuff? And so you just took it upon yourself and...
I had help from my dad. He's really good at that stuff.
Well, that's great. It's a good opportunity for you and your dad. So, well, that is just a phenomenal endeavor on your part. And as a scout, we really appreciate your efforts. That's outstanding. And we thank you so much. Any other comments?
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Well,
Both of you guys are too tall.
Okay.
On either
Taking
side.
pictures, I would trust that.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. One more, please. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Glad I'm on stage.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
very
much. And thank you for that also, Tyler. Item 5, new business. B, consider Sourcewell contract for Gates Skatepark.
Yes, I think we got Adam Icorn on the line up there. But in your packet are 2 proposals from Sourcewell. As you can see, they're pretty detailed proposals. As nearly everything in there is line itemed. Some notable exclusions in the first proposal include the landscaping and site restoration, access pathways, shade structure, some seating areas as well. So essentially in that first proposal, it's $500,000 worth of just skate park and skating features. In a conversation I had with Adam, he had said he could include some of these amenities within our $500,000 budget, but that would mean a reduction of skate park. So the second proposal, he line itemed these amenities and items for an additional $58,500. So this evening, we're looking to how do we decide to approach this project. One thought process is that it might be easier to start with the exact skate park we want in terms of size and skating features, and then discuss options for these other items. We did have $50,000 budgeted for a restroom facility initially. We might be able to use some of those funds for some of these other items. So we'll have to discuss how to prioritize those items. I think the access pathways, landscaping and site restoration are pretty important. So yeah, I think we're just looking to have a conversation about what to include in the contract initially, and then how we want to prioritize those other items. Is that essentially what we're looking at, Adam? Can't hear him.
There you go. Yes, exactly. I'm trying to format my screen but yeah, I'm good. Were there any specific line items that we wanted to go through, or did we want to go through the entire contract or proposal? What would be your best?
I wouldn't think we'd need to go through the entire contract, but maybe because I think we've kind of vetted that pretty good, but the additional amenities, I think is something that maybe we can look at, but I mean, we're kind of at a position that we're in. Anybody have any comments on what they think? Any thoughts?
I think we should put the majority of the money towards the actual skate park and do everything we kind of designed it for. That way we have that built, and then, like he was saying, through different projects, cut some out of the bathroom facility or something. We can start doing some of the other stuff maybe a little bit later. But by the time it's all done, we'll still have the best skate park we could have provided, instead of making cuts on that part.
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of big on not cutting the skate park whatsoever. But I'm also big on having the lighting. I don't know if we have to cut this, but I think that to give them, it'll be the first skate park with lights at nighttime. So I don't know what we can do on how we can go about doing it. But with the amenities and whatnot, my big thing would be having lights at nighttime.
if we could do that. But
Yes.
with the budget we have, and as you had said, Tyler, we're kind of like, we're at the 500,000, correct?
Yeah.
I see in here like, the line items where it says conduit for future lighting, 10 grand. You know, somehow, some way, I think that we should at least put the conduit in there for future lighting and then go about it, because if we have to come back and cut something up and pipe it all in and whatnot, I think it's gonna cost us more and the townspeople more. So I'm just trying to figure out some way to at least add the conduit for future lighting, so it's there, and we can just progress from there. I mean, that's the only thing I'm really big on, is the lighting at nighttime.
Well, I know we'd also kind of discussed maybe even getting the solar, and I don't know how functional that would be, but that was an option that was thrown out there. So if maybe Adam could speak to the construction aspect as far as like, if we move forward as it is, and then we have these other items to maybe be done at a later date, would there be added cost, or is this the cost that you would see it being even later, maybe?
These are the costs if we were to do everything at once. And the reason for that is essentially we mobilize a crew to, build the skate park to the scope. And then when we're done, we obviously move to the next project. But having to mobilize back to the project at a later date, then there would be a mobilization charge on top of that as well. So it does make more sense to get everything done at once, or while we're there, essentially.
I kind of look at it as if you're building a house, have them rough in the bathroom and the basement. Whether you put a bathroom in there or not, like, at least for the future, you're able to put the bathroom in. Where if they put the conduit in, for the future, we just got to progress and, because it's there already. You know, all the raceways and everything would be there. I mean, that's just my opinion. I just think because it's going to probably, say we do it 5 years from now, it's going to be double that price or more.
Adam, if you could comment, like you said, like a mobilization fee, like what is
Yeah.
it typical, or?
Yeah, it's actually one of the line items here. Let's look for it really quick here. Yeah, mobilization 20,000. That's to get our full crew out for however long we estimate it to be to build, essentially from day one to completion.
So on a line, they have it right there, conduit for future lighting, 10 grand. And he just said that the mobilization be 20. So as of right now, if we were to come back to it, it doubles the price. That's not even in the future.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Cole.
one thing I just would like to add, because I don't want to be the downer to anything, but I think just something that needs to be considered on a much more global plan that we haven't been able to discuss since obviously this whole proposal was put forth last month. One of the things that is in the works is obviously establishing park rules for all of your parks in town. And I know that this development is kind of a first phase of what is intended to be the next phase within the park. One of the discussions was hours in parks. And although, I know that the lighting is a great concern, I just want you to not look at it in a vacuum, but look at it in the context of all of your park rules. Obviously, as your parks are set dusk to dawn in lighting, or rather for opening. So if you're looking at things globally across the town, whether or not it's your consideration in making an exception for different park or different areas of the park, how that is policed, how that is manned, controlled, et cetera, especially if this is going to be, leading into other areas of the park, or what your intention is on park hours across town-wide for all parks. But because this is kind of something that's going on at the same time, and that was a prior consideration, was to sticking to those hours. That's just the one consideration that I would put out there, is that whatever you're contemplating with those things, that you're looking at it in a larger picture and not just to one itemized area.
So as the ordinance stands now, it is dusk to dawn?
No, there's no rule.
By the rules.
Okay, all right.
But even in the kind of some of the proposed discussions, that was set out that way. So again, I'm not you know, advocating one way or the other. I'm just suggesting that you need to look at it on a global measure where you're looking at, even if the intention would be to want to make the skate park that way, but this is going to be phased into a larger park, how it is, the consideration of how that's controlled or how that's, maintained in one area for longer hours or shorter hours, as I've indicated, how that's policed, whatever. I just want you to be looking at the whole thing if you're making those affirmative decisions potentially today of where you're investing or not.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Tyler, if you kind of comment to like where we're at as far as financially, then we're just, we're strapped as far as like the commitment of the amount, correct?
Right, I mean, I had mentioned the 500,000 budget for the skate park, and then again, there's another 50 for, that we had budgeted for the restroom, so that would be the amount that we would have to stay within initially.
Well, if anything, maybe we could, I don't know. Then we'd have to consider pulling that money from the restroom facilities if we wanted to go forward in that way.
I could see pulling that money for now, because we don't have one out there as it is.
Right, we do have the porta potties.
Right, we can always put those out there, just like we do at the Babe Ruth field. We have, hundreds of people that play out there on the weekends.
Right,
That somehow we can get all this taken care of at once. I was kind of looking at it like, if we come back in the future, it'd be 10,000 for this. I didn't even think about moving everything there and everything.
yeah, the mobilization.
Right.
Right. That's 20,000 right off the top.
Right, that would double right today, you
Yeah.
know?
For each one, unless we did them all at
Exactly,
once.
yeah.
Well, I'd be open to considering the conduit being added to it on the line item.
I know that we want to make it as beautiful as we can and whatnot, but I'm just thinking, and like they were saying, is we got to think about the park hours and, the residents and all that stuff, but I think that it'd be nice to have the lights there. Definitely the residents and whatnot.
Well,
It's just my thought.
Right.
Because,
And,
it gets dark at 5 o'clock sometimes.
right.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, it might be a premature to have that conversation, but, I mean, I've seen where other skate parks will say it's open during these hours, designated hours, which would probably be our park hours, and then for the skate parks specifically, it would say, and when the lights are on. And then they designated certain times of the year, whether it's the warmer months on weekends or what have you, they designate certain dates or times of the year to have them on to a certain time, where they're on a timer. That's how I've seen some skate parks handle it.
Yeah.
Well, then I'd be definitely open to at least getting the conduit added to it. I think that'd kind of be a wise move. Doesn't mean we have to do anything at the present, but we could have it ready to go.
Well, how much were the bathrooms, you said?
I mean, we had budgeted 50. I don't think that was going to quite be enough, but that's what we had budgeted.
Like I said, we're doing this in phases, so skate park initially, to get that done. And if we had to, come back to the restrooms and then the other parts.
What I'm kind of looking at is maybe putting the whole bathroom on hold and putting that 50 into here. 'Cause what part of these, it looks like actually the concrete getting to the skate park, the sod around where they tear up the dirt, I think that's all, to be cosmetically looking good also.
Can we ask any questions from out here?
No, not at this point,
Not
no.
this
All
time.
right, but you guys are, got everything already etched in stone, correct?
Sir,
And you guys
I'm
are
sorry.
already talking about lights and everything?
Sir, you can't speak right now.
I can?
No, sir.
No,
No.
it's not open.
During
It's not
public
open. You have to wait till public comment. That'll be down as we move forward.
All right.
So, yeah, the 50,000 then, I mean, if we want to put that on hold, then move forward with some of these other line items. What were you thinking, Mike? The sod?
Well, I mean, it's, the sod and the sidewalks getting to it, because you have a way to get to it. You
Right.
just kind of just be out there. So almost your access pathways, the conduit, obviously, we're talking about. The landscaping is what I was talking about, restored disturbed areas with sod. That's where all the machines come in and tear it up. Otherwise, that's just gonna be dirt, kind of looking rough.
So the concrete access pathways would be 12.5.
Right. Wait, what, yeah, 12.5 for that and 15 for,
The landscaping?
correct, the sod.
27, and then the 10 would be 37.5. What about benches then?
I mean, that's up to us if we want to try to pull that out of something, or if we could, the benches and the actual shade structure, we can put that on hold. But again, if we could go with them, it's gonna be another 20,000 plus that.
On top, yes, for the
So if we're,
mobilization.
say we're to pull the bathrooms, Tyler,
Mm-hmm.
we're still gonna be like 8,500 short. Do we have somewhere we could take that, or is that just like, we can't do that?
I mean, we're not required, I mean, we can have that there in case, there's something else that we want to add. Are you saying we're at 85 short of that additional 50 right now?
Well, if we did all this and we used that 50,000 that we kind of allotted for the bathrooms,
Would still be
that's putting us about
8,500 short.
8,500 short.
Gotcha, okay. I mean, yeah, the access pathways, and the landscaping were two pretty important items that we identified. I think, that would be
Definitely.
pretty essential to start.
I mean, do we have to make a concrete decision on that this evening?
If we want to move forward.
Okay.
Well, on the line item, what do we want to definitely get in? We want to get in the concrete pathway,
Yes.
the landscaping with the sod, which is 15, and the conduit.
That's 37.5.
Adam, you willing to kind of work with us if we put a little extra here? Would you be willing to do the shade structure for that amount?
I think an easier way to put it would be if you are willing to put 50,000 into the additional alternative items, then we will make everything work. I mean, you might see something come out of one of the line items up above, but or maybe less of an access path, possibly. I mean, you'll still get the access path from the parking lot to the main skate section, but in the design there was a secondary access path too, I believe, or seating area near the pump track. So that's something that we can look at too, is kind of reducing that slightly, fit that price, the budget number.
So you're saying for the 50, you could make it all work?
Yes.
Think about that, Mike,
I like that.
Patrick?
I'd be good with that.
Any comment, Mr. Tyler? Any comments, Ms. Nicole?
No.
All right, well then, for the Sourcewell contract for the Gates Skate Park, if we can get that all encapsulated in this, we would go with the price proposal plus the line item, and it would be amended from 58.5 to 50,000, is that correct?
So we total 550,000?
550,000, correct? Are you with that, Adam, then?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Well, then I make a motion that we would accept the Sourcewell price proposal for $550,000 with the line items being added at that price.
So moved. I'll make it.
You're making a motion? All right, I second. I don't know if you made it or not, Mike.
That's a motion by Mike Moffett, second by Pat Connolly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
And thanks for that, Adam.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank
on
you.
that? And again, what would we be looking at a timeline for this?
So as soon as the contract is executed, the next step is, and the design is final, then we go into construction documents, which take a few weeks, depending on, how intricate they are. And they go to review a couple times, so you'll review them and add notes and until they're 100%. Then obviously we schedule it in and mobilize our crew. We're looking at, to be honest with you, if everything continues to go, as it has been, most likely end of July, I would guess would be, or just sometime in July would probably be a logical time frame to break ground.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions? Tyler? No. All right, thank you, Adam. All right, moving on then from that to new business. Item C, consider St. John Lions Club Memorial Tree.
Yeah, so in your packet is some correspondence from Al Kineska, who I believe is the president of the Lions Club. But they would like to plant a tree to honor the service of one of their members who passed away recently, Renee Haladik. I think she passed away on Saturday, January 23rd. She was a past president of the Lions Club and an active member of the community. But they're looking to plant a tree in one of our parks that would have be landscaped with bricks and some stone, and then they have a little lion statue as well. But I had a conversation with them about the location of the tree. They talked about the section of trail between Bull Run and Alcott. I guess Renee had walked that path frequently as it was near her home there in Homestead Village. But the Lions Club would maintain the landscaped area going forward. I thought it was just approval for the board to approve of the tree itself.
Thank you. I think the Lions Club has an outstanding reputation, and I know they would do well to do that. And I think that'd be a great idea. Consider St. John's Lions Club Tree Memorial.
I just had one question. Have we discussed with the pipeline or anything? Would they have an issue with that, or? Because I know they're very strict out there on some things. I don't know if we can just plant a tree or if we have to get their approval.
I mean,
Is there some? I know they have as big as a 48-inch pipe under there. They have several pipes, but I think it's their largest.
right.
So I don't know if there's something. Either way, I'm all for this. I just want to make sure if we have to jump through some hoops or it has to be
Sure.
so far away from that,
Sure, that's something we'll take into consideration before we move too far along here.
Right.
Good point, Mike. Well,
I'll make a motion that the Lions Club can plant a tree.
I'll second that.
That's a motion by Pat Connolly, second by Mike Moffett. All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, request to purchase plow for new truck.
Yeah, so this would be the plow for our new truck. We're looking at getting a V-plow, which is a little more expensive than the standard straight blade that we have, but I transferred some funds to make it work. We've had conversations with a few companies that use these plows exclusively now, and they come highly recommended. Several advantages. They can think we're going to be able to clear parking lots a little more efficiently. and be more precise as we continue to plow the trails, as that was pretty well received this past winter.
I'll make a motion to purchase the plow.
I'll second it.
It's a motion by Mike Moffett, second by Pat Connolly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6, old business. A, Patno Park Family Gardens update.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of progress down there this past month. Public Works, they removed the sod in both the garden area and the parking lot, and then they installed water as well. B&D Sewer has been a huge help in town. They donated dirt to level the area after sod was removed. There's some pretty compacted clay, so that was a huge help. And then they donated 3 loads of the garden soil that's actually going in the boxes.
B&D?
Yeah, yep. As far as box construction goes, right now we have 27 boxes complete and placed in the garden. Construction of those is ongoing. We're going to have 39 total for this season. And those have been constructed by a St. John resident. His name's John Quinlan. He's a shop teacher at a nearby school, but he's been out there several hours helping us with that. And I'm going to find ways to recognize him and B&D as well, because they've been a huge help.
Awesome.
The fence is scheduled to go in Wednesday or Thursday of this week. And then our guys will continue to place the boxes. They've already worked on the mulch pathways. And then the grindings for the parking lot will hopefully be in within the next couple of weeks as well. But as far as registration goes, 22 boxes are currently reserved for this season. And I think we'll end up, once we start posting pics of the progress down there and it starts to look more like a garden, I think you'll see, I think we'll get all those reserved by the end of it. But yeah, registration is still available at the clerk treasurer's office. It's $40 for residents and $50 for non-residents.
Excellent. Yeah, I've seen them. I've driven by there. And then what about the parking lot and that? Is that, as far as where they're going to park, any update on that, or just?
Yeah, so right now the sod's removed, but it's going to be directly in front of the garden itself.
Okay. Yeah, I drive by, but I can't really.
Right, if you pull in there, you can kind of get a better look at it.
When you say grinding, is that like gravel or that be like the blacktop?
Gravel, yeah.
That's the middling from the street when they start taking up the streets.
Right.
They'll bring in some of that.
Okay. Moving to item B, Founders Park update.
Yeah, so we had a pre-construction meeting with our awarded contractor, Integral, this morning. The Arts Group and the Lake County, I should say, was also represented at the meeting. We discussed the CDBG funds, and we're going to expedite that portion of the project as we have a deadline for those funds. But we're going to start with the parking lot and walking path will be the first areas they look to complete. We still have to execute the contract. Is that correct, Nicole?
Yes.
But right now we have a tentative date for the public groundbreaking for Thursday, April 29th at noon. So we'll try to get as many board members and town officials there as we can. And if all goes as planned and we execute the contract here pretty soon, have the groundbreaking, they're looking to start the first week of May.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you for that, Tyler. Number 7, reports and correspondence. Board members.
I want to thank Wayne. I saw him out there, I think it was Saturday, out there picking up garbage on the side of White Oak. That was a little bit above and beyond.
Thank you for that, Wayne.
Thank you.
Staff, any comments?
Yes, from a report on, we're still accepting applications for our seasonal maintenance positions. They're going to pay $10 per hour, in 40 hours per week. And the duration would be approximately early June to early August. And also our farmers market is scheduled to start on Sunday, May 2nd, and that's going to go every Sunday through October 31st. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Sunday at the Community Hospital Outpatient Center. And as you guys are well aware, we're helping promote and oversee the market this year, so we're looking forward to that.
You know, that farmer's market's a big hit, so look forward to that. Thank you, Tyler. Town Council Liaison, Mr. Wayne Pondinas.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Tyler and Nicole for expediting the Founders Park contract, and so we didn't lose the money. They did a great job on that. They had some long meetings, I think, a couple hours at a time, so they did a good job with that, and they kept us on schedule to get that grant money. I thank them both.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also thank them. Thank you, Wayne. Moving to item 8, payment of the bills. Consider payment of the bills. Amount of, here, $39,946.
I'll make a motion to accept or to pay the bills.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, what amount did you say, Mike?
Looking here. Hold on.
I think you were looking at the check number there.
$68,450.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice catch.
Okay, yes, I got it now. Pay the bills in the amount of $68,450.59.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that motion.
It's a motion by Mike Moffett, second by Pat Connolly. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It's a little high this month. Our new truck was on there, and then the $15,000 deck we had at Heartland is on there as well.
Move to item 9, public comment. Any public comments?
Hi, my name's Virginia Visdell. I live at 8173 West 102nd Street. I live in one of the houses that are directly affected by the skate park, right behind there. And first, I wanted to say that I am not 100% against a skate park. I think it's great to have amenities for kids, teenage years, keep them off the streets and that. But we're not like people who move next to a train track and complain about the noise. We were living there first, and it seems like the kids were all surveyed about what they wanted in a skate park, but I didn't see any surveys to the people that live right next to that, what they would like to see or not like to see. If you go down the line, there's like 5 houses that are directly behind the skate park. And if you went to ask any of those 5 people, none of us would like to see lights in the park. During the summer, from dawn till dusk, that's a lot of time for kids to be skating. I don't think there's any reason to have lights for them to skate at night after dark. I just can't see it. If you guys were living there, I think you might have a different idea like we do. I mean, I just really can't see lights being there. Daylight is plenty during the summer. I recently went to check out the skate park in Dyer, And while it isn't much of a skate park, it was like a few ramps on a cement concrete pad. The park was laid out really nice. And we talked to one of the teenagers that was using one of the ramps, and he told us that he heard about the St. John proposed skate park, and he said, yeah, he was definitely going to come and use it. So I'm thinking it was also mentioned on the Indiana radio station that you're making this state-of-the-art skate park, and you're drawing kids from all over Indiana instead of just the neighborhood kids, which is what I would have liked to see, just the neighborhood kids. I would like to see the plan scaled back a little bit and not skip on the amenities like the landscaping and bushes to protect the neighbors, our privacy, and a little bit of peace and quiet that we used to have living right across from that park. I don't want to see it be a destination attraction or a venue like Disney World. We don't need that to have kids from all over come there. I just don't think that that's fair. I think that little kids needed a tot park back there. There's 19 kids that live on our block, with more to come because there's a lot of houses that are still being built, and these kids have no place to play. I mean, there was a proposed park on Parrish in the works for a long time, and we still have nothing. Those kids don't have a place that they can walk to. You go across Parrish, which is a busy street, across Klein, across these other streets. Most of these kids are 10 years old and younger. So they've been waiting a long time for a park too. So hopefully you'll consider some of the neighbors' concerns for this park instead of just going ahead and building this big grand park, skating park that I don't think is really necessary. Why does a small town like St. John need a state-of-the-art skate park that's going to draw people from all over? It's not like the Shrine, it's just, I don't think anybody's taken into consideration the neighbors. And I thank you.
Thank you and respect your comments.
Thanks. Hey, I'm Robert Visdell, 8173 West 102nd Avenue. My wife just made a bunch of comments and everything. I know that Gabe and Tyler came out and talked to her for a few minutes and everything. We got a few problems. We're 100 to 200 feet away from where this park's going to be built. And 6 months ago, I came to a park board meeting. I don't know, I think Wayne was here. I don't know who else was here, but I talked to them about the fact that we didn't have anything in the entire gates as far as a park for the kids. And I'm talking about the little kids, like my wife was saying. The majority of the kids on our block are like 8 years and younger. And yeah, someday they're going to be using this skate park, but right now they needed a kids park. And what you're going to build is not going to help them at all. This park that they're going to build on Parrish, that's a mile from where we're at. That's at the other end of the gates. There's still not going to be anything for them at all on our part of the gates. And one of the things that I didn't really feel was fair was the fact that all this stuff got passed and everything, in the last month or something like that? Because the first time I heard anything was last week, Monday. A week ago Monday, I was driving, and I heard an advertisement for this on the radio, on Northwest Indiana radio station, which means all of Northwest Indiana knows that this is being built, not to mention the fact that Northeast in Illinois knows about it too, because the radio station goes all the way. I can pick it up when I go to Tinley Park to visit my kids and everything. You still get the station. So there's a big area that knows about this. You guys are spending a lot of money on something that's going to be a destination park, okay? A destination park, not something for St. John. We had nothing at all, and now all of a sudden we're going to have this great big gigantic park there that's going to draw. Like my wife said, we went over to Cherville to check it out just to see what that one looked like. It was nothing. I'm sure all the other parks are kind of similar to that. We're going to have the best one around. Where are the kids going to go? They're all going to be coming to St. John. So what's going to happen? We're going to have all these people coming. And you didn't even ask our opinion, and we lived right next to the park. You guys should have been talking to us and asking us first, what do we see? Because I'll tell you what we've seen. We've been there for 3 years now, and they put the walking path in about a year ago, And you know what happens? There's ATVs going up and down the thing at, sometimes, even when there was a soccer game going on one time, they were going down. We'll call the police. Takes them like 10 or 15 minutes to get out there. By the time they get out, these people are gone. So they don't even get arrested. They don't do nothing. There's a sign at both ends that say no motorized vehicles. Now what's going to happen? You're going to have kids on skateboards, and you know this is going to happen. They're going to be coming down the path to get over to where the park's going to be at, the skate park's going to be at. There's going to be people walking on there. In where we used to live in Tinley Park, they had a skate park inside a Centennial Park, which is a big park inside of Tinley Park. It's a half-mile by a half-mile square. The skate park was in the middle of it, so nobody lived within 2 blocks of it. There was yellow lines down the entire walking path in the entire park. I think what you need is to put that on the walking paths and put an arrow on each side for the people that can't figure out which side to be on. So at least there's a chance that people aren't going to be going to get run over or something by these skateboarders. If they get hit or something like that, the city, I'm sure, gets sued over that, right? Because it's town property. I'm sure that we'd be responsible for it at some point, and we don't want that to happen. We just want to see safety there. The other thing is the right on the other side, on the north side of the walking path, we have about 60 feet to our property line. I'd love to see you put some kind of like a natural berm up there of arborvitaes or some other kind of fast-growing plants that would give us a separation between us and the skate park. It doesn't really need it on the soccer park because we haven't had anything in the past. In the soccer games, maybe like once a game or two, a ball roll down towards our property, but that's no problem at all. We don't want to see the kids that are going to be over there cutting across our property to get to the skate park because they might park on 102nd, or as has happened in the past where the ice cream guy happens to be on our block and everybody's cutting across our property to get to the ice cream guy and then going back. We'd love to see us build some kind of an shrubbery thing, most probably, as opposed to a berm, because a berm, I think, would create the water going down at a different spot on the bottom. I think what we really need is some kind of greenery there for you to stop that. But the big thing is preventing it from becoming a destination park. I think that's more than anything else the thing that we're hoping that you can not have happen, because otherwise you're using the tax dollars of the town of St. John to supply entertainment for the kids in the rest of the other towns around us, and that just isn't right. You should be using it for our kids, and like I said before, there's still nothing in the plans for the real little kids, and that's the thing I'd really like to see you do. Spend some of this money that you're spending on the skate park and use that for the little kids, and there's no reason why you can't put a couple swing sets and a couple slides right next to the skate park, and not a year or two from now. Do it all at the same time. Put that in your plans if it's not etched in stone already with this guy that was on the screen there. That's what I'm asking from you. And I'm still disappointed that you didn't contact any of the neighbors at all and ask us our opinion about this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. Respect your comments. Yes, sir. You may approach.
Hello, my name's Tom Allen. I'm here concerning Founders Park. My wife and I were the owners of 9884 Parish. When Steve Kill was town manager at that time, they went to widen Parish Avenue. They needed more easement from Joliet down to 231. I went to many meetings. The easement went, because the house sat so close to Parish, it went right down the middle of the house. Can't have that, can you? So Steve Kill, they went to work and they moved the easement, tweaked it, where it went right by the front porch. They could dig right by the front porch for cable lines, and somebody stepping off the front porch could fall. He suggested to my wife and I, would we be willing, instead of selling the frontage for the easement, to sell the whole property for a town park? My wife and I were ecstatic, happy, because to have green space for the citizens of St. John to enjoy. Steve said there was a shortage of property on this side of St. John. Okay, so my parents bought this property in 1949. They built a modest 3-bedroom home at that time. I came to be. At that time, St. John was really a farming community. We were surrounded 4 sides by livestock farmers: Dewis's, Malsh, Magnet, Hoosman Farm to the south, the Monix's farm where 3 Springs subdivision's at. Back in 1950, when the house was built, no air in that house, windows on a hot day, no matter which way that breeze came, you knew you were in the country. But you didn't complain back then, because that was St. John in the 50s. We had 2.9 acres. My parents had a hobby farm, as it's referred to nowadays: chickens, ducks, sheep, pigs, and maybe 1 or 2 steers. Oh dear. I'm trying to read my notes here, my scribbles, excuse me, folks. I'm trying to explain my heritage to that property. I grew up, like I said, in St. John all my life. Things I've seen in St. John, maybe you've never heard of before. I'd like to share those with you for a few minutes. In 1955, my mother happened to be looking out the back door at that property. The ground shook so hard, she said the dust came up. The sheep ran across the field. Standard Oil exploded. It was felt out in St. John. Maybe somebody doesn't know that. My mother grabbed me and ran to the basement. She thought it was the nuclear age. She thought it was an attack on Chicago. She sought cover, and then afterwards they found out that it was Standard Oil blowing up. As a kid, I remember Parish Avenue as a gravel road. Couldn't ride a bike on gravel road. One day in the summertime, my mother, I remember looking out the door. She locked the door because she was concerned. There was 4 or 5 gentlemen sitting under the shade tree in our front yard eating lunch, summertime. She said, well, I'm going out to see what's going on here. They were a survey crew surveying Parish Avenue was a possible route for I-65. They were having lunch. My mom took Kool-Aid out. They were doing an impact study to see which route would cost the federal government, because they had to buy property for the right-of-way for I-65. Imagine St. John if I-65 was Parish Avenue, how different it would be today. It was paved in 1960. Then I could ride my bike. Yay. St. John was very small. My mother'd say, Tommy, I need a loaf of bread. Get on your bike and go up to Royal Blue, which is now Mama D's Pizza. That was a Royal Blue grocery store. The screen door slammed. You walked in, the floor creaked, wood floor. Very country back then. There was the woman, her name was Rita. She used to work at Welch's Stop and Shop up until about 7, 8, 10 years ago. I think she's still with us, but she was elderly when she retired. Oh dear, where am I here? When I went up to St. John Stop and Shop, St. John Royal Blue, excuse me, I'd drive by DeYoung's grain elevator, to see if any of my friends were out there playing. That's how DeYoung's operated their business. You could play in the elevator, believe it or not nowadays, as long as you didn't get in trouble. They watched over you. St. John, everybody watched everybody. I had a paper route when I was
Sir,
a
could you,
kid.
could you get to the point of where we're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
with this?
yeah.
We don't need a history
Okay,
lesson.
okay.
St.
I had a
John.
paper route as a kid. I knew all the, up Joliet Street, I knew every family, every dog. This is my legacy. I remember the old lighthouse up where Mighty Mike's gas station is, that directed the planes going to O'Hare Airport. The one-room library where Dairy Queen sits, it was an old motel. The television channel at Lake Central. My legacy is deep with the town. Steve Kill said the park will be named Allen Park. He said that's how they do it. He says, off the top of his head, he said Roman Park, Cherville location. You have Patno Park, which is the Patno Farm. I knew the Patnos. You have Rainwater Park over here on this side of the town, which was, he just passed away within the past year or two. They do name parks in Indiana after the last person of succession. This property was in my family for since 1949. That's where I was going to with my legacy. Thank you. I see Founders Park. I hear Founders Park. I feel Steve Kill isn't here. I guess Tyler, I talked to Tyler on the phone the other day. He said he talked to Steve, and Steve Kill couldn't remember that conversation. I feel a town manager, any one of you, the name of my park is not on you think about every day. We closed on August 29th, 2018 on that property. It's been several years. My parents are gone. I have no brothers or sisters. I'm the last family member. I have one son that's in his mid-40s. He's past childbearing years. He's retired from the Air Force. He lives in Florida. He has one daughter, 21 years old. Our legacy is going to be gone in 20, 30 years. I won't be here. My son, mid-40s. My granddaughter, she'll probably change her name when she gets married. There'll be no more Allens left. That's why it's important to me that you would consider naming Founders Park Allen Park. And that's from my heart.
Well, we respect your comments, Mr. Allen. We respect that you grew up in St. John. It's a beautiful facility. It's a beautiful community to live in.
Yes,
A lot of great people.
yes.
I enjoyed your history. I can relate a little bit to it, not all of it, but
Okay.
a lot of it. But it seems like we're at somewhat of an impasse. I have had some conversations with Tyler, and it just, right now, it's kind of is what it is. And I know you're asking for something, but there's no record, no knowledge of it. So we do appreciate your comments.
It was the handshake deal with Mr. Kill. Did I screw up? Yes, I should have had it in writing. I wouldn't be standing here tonight. I expected the town of St. John to live up to the expectations I had of the town naming it Allen Park. I'm very disappointed. I think it could be changed. I guess I'm standing here pleading, begging. What's the right word? That's where I'm at right now. I'm so happy it's going to be a green space, but I would like our family and our history acknowledged in the naming of that park. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Allen. You spoke from your heart, and we do respect that. Moving to item 10.
If I might just mention one thing, I know that we had talked about at our several meetings, some of the deficiencies we have in our park system, especially in the southeast quadrant of town. I mean, it's a huge concern. It's a growing concern given all the development over there. But within our park system, though, we have an overall lack of variety in the types of park facilities we have. And we have 20 playgrounds in town, ball fields, basketball courts, but there's an age range or a group that is not being adequately served right now in terms of park facilities, and that's for the entire town. And there's a significant number of kids that are too old for playgrounds and have no interest in organized sports or sports amenities. And I say kids, but we've heard from several adults as well that are pretty excited for this skate park. But for that location, we're looking to make it a park that'll serve multiple age groups. We'll have the soccer fields, open space. We have a playground in the 5-year plan. It might be as soon as next year, and then we'll complete the walking trail as well. But the budget for this year is, I mean, we're pretty well set. That process was in place, a long time ago. But some of these other amenities are on our radar.
Definitely. Thank you for that. And just piggyback off what Mr. Tyler said, I can assure you that the park board, that we consider everybody in the town of St. John. I live in St. John. I have grandkids. I live in the gates of St. John. I took them to Civic Park. There's a lot of beautiful parks here. And like Tyler said, we're trying to facilitate everyone. Make sure that everyone has something to do, something to participate in, and we're grateful for that opportunity to serve this community. And I think this is just a stepping stone, and I think there's been some kind of within the park board, it's just maybe been stagnant, maybe hasn't been a lot moving forward. This is the first time that I've heard from other people that there's been progress, we've been moving forward, so we are trying to accomplish positive things for the citizens, and we take everybody's interest and concern to heart, we truly do. And we appreciate everybody's comments and everybody's opportunity to come and speak, and everybody has lives, you guys are busy, taking your time to come here. We truly respect that, and we talk about it, and we take it to heart, and we thank you for your time.
Like, I think there's one more guy who wants to
I know
talk.
there's more other comments, but I just want to, maybe off what Mr. Allen said, kind of the whole idea of Founders Park as the founders of St. John. Like, maybe we could talk about it between now and the next meeting. We could do some kind of a monument as one of our founders of the town. Maybe some kind of monument or something with their family name on it in that park, because it was their land. That way we wouldn't be changing it from founders, but we still have something to respect your family.
I'm the last descendant, other than my son and granddaughter. I would appreciate that from my heart, if the town could do something.
Definitely.
Recognize our family's name.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. I think to do something at least would be a
Well,
great thing.
We hear you. We hear everyone that spoke. We truly do. And did somebody say that, did we have someone that didn't speak?
Few people can get one.
Well, I apologize.
And Rich, the woman back there as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Zielinski, and really I just wanted to step up here and hopefully maybe ease some concerns that I heard tonight. I myself, I'm a big supporter of the local skate park. I myself have been a skater for 17 to 18 years, and I just wanted to take the podium and maybe I can help put you guys at ease a little bit. So the skate parks that have been built around the region are of a similar budget and somewhat of a similar scale. St. John might be going big with it and very excited about it, but it's still a local skate park. A regional skate park is roughly about $1 million. It's going to be extremely exciting for the people around here, because I myself grew up skateboarding with metal ramps that had sharp edges, and that's what was provided. and you didn't complain, otherwise it might get taken away. It's defined me as a person. I've been able to and had the privilege of skating in professional competitions, and it's been an exciting part of my life and built me up as a person. The most dangerous place to skateboard is the street. More injuries are of our children getting hit by cars than breaking an arm at a skate park. So offering these facilities is a great way to keep them safe, and it's truly appreciated. Some of the younger kids that we do see skating are about 6 years of age. And we see people up to 30. I myself am 32. I still actively skateboard, and it's something that I thoroughly enjoy, and I still actively compete. And it's something that you can do across all age ranges. I was from a single-parent household. I didn't really have access to a lot of other types of sports. And my local skate park was about a 45-minute skate away. And that's what I did every day after school. That's what defined me as a person. It's what made me who I am today. I think that there are some concerns, from the audience that are valid. I think you should always bring those up and we can talk about it. I think the reality of what is trying to be built here, I think will be pleasant for the community. I think it will truly bring a vibrancy that will be appreciated, and I hope it's not a nuisance. The skate park construction has changed a lot, and you do see a lot of sound dampening inside of the concrete versus the metal ramps. And I hope the community enjoys that and they don't see too much of a loud noise concerns. But one thing I do want to say more than anything else is my name is Jeff Zielinski. I'll be at the park. I'll be your ally. And I'm happy to help in any way I can.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for everyone for your time.
Thank you, Jeff. And there was a lady that.
Sorry, I had to bring my 4-year-old. I apologize. Good evening, Mr. President, fellow council members. I appreciate your time. So I'll make this quick because I know there's other people that need to speak. I am a resident of the Gates as well. My home is 8067 West, 102nd Avenue. I am a home that is directly behind where the skate park will be. I watched the town of Sherrillville move goalpost. I was curious, so I went out and talked to them. My husband and I both spoke with them, and they said that everything was moving forward with the skate park. Mind you, we were the third home in our circle built. We purchased our lot, which was considered a premier lot or a more expensive lot, because everyone that purchased lots on that row were told that nothing would be put or placed behind them. We did our due diligence. We called Steve. We called the town council. We made sure that we expressed our concerns that if we were purchasing a home of this caliber in this community, which we love, we're from Utah. We chose it for safety and amenities and it growing. So we were never opposed to more parks and more things accommodating the older kids. Our daughter's 8. She eventually will be doing these activities that will interest her. The biggest thing is I honestly felt like we were lied to. We have a berm that was placed in our backyard because the walking path went directly behind it. Steve placed it there in promises of landscaping it to protect us from noise, people coming. It is just a pile of dirt now. Kids dig in it. It looks like garbage. And I'm very concerned that a skate park of this magnitude not getting landscaped will hugely affect our privacy. We're not allowed to put privacy fences on our lots because of the type of lot it is. So how are we to keep ourselves enclosed? We're always going to be facing this. I'm not opposed. My husband skateboarded middle school to high school. He understands. I just wanted to express my concerns and really try to get more information on how large this skate park's going to be. Because the previous drawings that were sent on Spone Ranch, I don't even know if that's who you guys are still going through, that skate park is about 10 to 15,000 square feet. That is a huge skate park. So I feel like we're just not being given all the information to make like adequate decisions as the residents that are going to be directly affected. So I just wanted to voice that. I appreciate your time, and I just maybe can reach out to Tyler and get some more details. I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Can we just have
you.
your name for the record? We need your- Brittany Hawk? Okay. Thank you.
Tyler, and we did publicize the meetings, did we not?
Oh, we sure did.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Hello, good to see you guys again. For the room and the board members, my name is Carlo Dema. I'm a local resident here in St. John, and
Address, please.
9701 Hart Street, right off of Old Joliet there. I just want to say that I am full support of the St. John Skate Park. I'm very excited that we have this opportunity to build something that's magnificent and good for the town, good for the kids in the town, as young as, like we've heard, 5 years old. I think skateboarding is very low entry level. It provides inclusion and diversity for young communities, especially like ours, that are growing. We see lots of construction going on 41. We see new roads being built. We see new houses being built. So why not provide something great for our community and our kids, such as a skate park? I am 28 years old and I still skateboard. I'm not going skateboarding out in the streets anymore, and I don't really have a place to go skateboard that's close. I have to drive to Cherville or drive out to Hessville or Dyer. I don't have a place that I can call my own. Also, skateboarding has a lot of good community members in it that will keep the concerns of the residents who have spoke today, keep their concerns in mind while we're there at the park. I'm 28 years old, and if I see someone doing something bad, I'm going to walk up to them and tell them to stop. I'm going to tell them to mind their manners. I am a scientist. I work for the government. A lot of my friends are skateboarders who I went to Lake Central with. And yes, they all don't live in St. John. Some live in Cherville, some live in Dyer. But we all are good friends, and a lot of them have great jobs and are great, productive members of the community. They're designers, they're engineers. Skateboarders are good people, and they're not to be looked upon in any other light than that. As far as the lights that we've all discussed tonight, based on our geophysical location and the fact that we have to deal with Chicago's time zone, lights are pretty important, especially when daylight savings time rolls over. Because of climate change, it's getting warmer around here, and it's staying warm into November, December, and it starts getting warmer earlier, like we've seen in April, February. I mean, the weather has been great. Having lights at the skate park is going to allow those kids to be out and have fun and skate and be safe for a lot longer, instead of when the lights go out or when the sun goes down, to go out and do other things that we have no idea. As far as the destination entertainment kind of concerns we've heard tonight, I do see the point there, but at the same time, bringing people from other communities, we used to call ourselves the Tri-Town area. That's a great thing. Getting people to come from Cherville to come skate in St. John, they're going to get hungry, they're going to want to eat, they'll stop at local businesses like Welch's, and that's going to be good for us. It's going to provide a lot of additional income into our community. So I think it's a great thing. I'm in full support of it. I've been at every meeting that you guys have had, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I'd just like to say on behalf of the park board, we respect everybody's comments. We hear you, and we take it to heart, and we consider everything that's been said. And I know I speak also probably for Mr. Wayne Pondinas. He's our town council liaison, Mr. Tyler and Ms. Nicole. So we appreciate everybody's comments, everybody's concerns, and hope to do the best to make everybody happy. Moving to item 10, without any further ado, any other comments? Any comments, things?
I would maybe like to say something really quick, if that's okay. Just regarding the skate park. I was at the last meeting regarding the skate park. Billy, 12700 Goldenrod Place. And I just wanted to maybe address the concerns where I think the gentleman had said it would be a destination park, which really, realistically, and I've seen a bunch of new skate parks sprout out over the years, and what usually happens is there might be that like first month, maybe less, maybe 3 weeks, where there are going to be a lot of people interested in something like that, because it will be obviously a very good park. But after that first month, maybe I could say like a month and a half at the most, it's going to start to die down. It's going to start to be the kids that want to learn how to skateboard, and it's going to be all the local people really like going there and using it as their facility. Again, it's like a baseball field or a soccer field. It's people have to go there every day so they can keep their skills up and use it as the facilities that I said. So I just wanted to make sure that there was no like confusion thinking that we're building some like Six Flags or like I think he said Disney World. I don't think it will be like that at all. So I just wanted to say that.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I know that everybody's concern is to bring people from other places and whatnot and kids who will cause problems. Billy, how old are you again?
I'm 21.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that people know that, like this gentleman, 28, the older people as well are going to be there, and you're going to keep people in check where it's not going to just be a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
We're hoping that it won't be a bunch of high school kids causing problems for anybody, especially the residents that live there as well.
Yeah.
So.
And also,
because I remember last time you were saying you skated all over and everything, so that's why I wanted to ask those questions.
Yeah, a skate park will get all the annoying skaters off of everyone's property, and it'll also make sure. I think a big misconception is that skateboarders are like dirty and they're bad kids and they're like the misfits, but all the skateboarders that I know and the skateboarders that are using the parks every day, those are the kids that actually want to get better at what they're doing, not just going there to mess around or cause any type of disturbance. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Item 10, adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
It's a motion by Mike Moffett, second by Pat Conley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Meeting's adjourned.